the functions that poetry can serve, and maybe it does actually, now that I think of it, change one, is bring one up smacked, like the barn came up and smacked me, against a lot of assumptions about meaning, about how meaning gets made, and what language is for. And I think that the human is hardwired to understand language simply for survival value, because it's among our strongest defensive instruments. We can get together when look out, there's a saber-toothed tiger coming through the door. But if I said, went and was a witch co-op, I'm not communicating anything properly, and people get uptight and angry and resistant. And sometimes I think there's a value to a language that's so damn wild and strange that it freaks you out, frustrates you, makes you feel upset, and that the world isn't getting articulated the right way, which is the opposite of the consolation that is like the one kind of reordering that the world is readjusted back. And the other one is like the world has just gotten, something weird has happened, and I don't know what it is. Which is actually, I think, probably another version, like maybe the obverse face of the change that you're talking about. Like if this the other side of the change, or...
Do you know, Carl?
No, I know. I feel like maybe you should, if you want to conclude, and then we could turn to the audience, because I feel that the time is passing in a furious way.
I think I can let it go. Yeah. But no, maybe not. Carl, I liked what you said about that the wild,
Thank you.
But not in general. I mean, of course, in general, but I liked this thing that you said. You said that the strange existed in the context of the ordinary. And Lyn, you started out with something like that too. It seems to me that what you're suggesting, Lyn, that is sort of troublesome to me, is that we could get so far out into the strange that it would lose its ability to, it wouldn't have power,
Well, there's analogies with painting, like Jackson Pollock, who doesn't paint anything. And that's way out in the weird. But it's enormously powerful. Or music, which can be extremely abstract.
Well, do you
but
think
Jackson
the thing
Pollock
is that...
isn't strange. That's the thing. After a while, you see them and you recognize them immediately because, in fact, you learn to recognize them.
Right.
So then I think, and I think almost anything, if it's done over and over, there's a pattern.
But here's another thing. Excuse me for interrupting, but I just got to.
We're doing that thing.
Words are carriers of meaning. I mean, a musical note isn't necessarily, or a color isn't, but a word really is a unit of meaning. And therefore, it's different when we splatter words than when we splatter paint, isn't it?
Yeah, but what about, like, Gertrude Stein's experiments?
They're very experimental.